Hello there, and welcome to The Wandering Wolf. I'm your host, Mark Rhodes, and alongside me, as always, my friend and fellow Wolves lifer, Mr. Craig Fullwood. How are you, mate?
Easy, how's it going, Mr. Rhodes? How are you?
Yeah.
I'm doing well.
Good, thanks, mate. Well, I've gone with the old wearing black when we lose. I can't wear the shirt if we don't win. And also,
Too upset.
It's in the wash. I'm just going to do this.
It's not quite as bad as a funeral, is it, mate?
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But yeah, obviously we're here to discuss the rather tepid performance. I would suggest.
Good word.
Against Crystal Palace, 2-0 defeat at Selhurst Park, where the team was completely different to absolutely everything we saw at Everton.
Well, it was mad how much can change in such short space of time. Like that first half against Everton, we were just, when we did the show last week, it was just like, oh my God, that was absolutely amazing. What a performance. And then to go to that, I mean, it's amazing that the gulfing different, the difference between the two performances really was incredible.
Well, it was really, but you've got to take into consideration the opponent as well. I think when you look at Everton, they were not a good team at all.
No.
And I think what played into our hands is that they were quite a lazy team. They let us have a lot of the ball, and it was completely the opposite with Palace. I know they were at home, so they're expected to press and to try and muscle us, I suppose. But I thought Palace were very good. I thought they were very strong they were a lot stronger than us in every single area, and they just looked hungrier. I think I wasn't surprised at the time when Bruno started with the same 11. What's the point of changing it? But I suppose when I think about it logically, horses for courses, if ever there was a game where Traoré should have probably started, it was against the physical team like Palace. Do you agree? Yeah,
well, we touched on this last week, didn't we, where there's certain times and places where he's absolutely a necessity, really, or certainly he deserves that chance. There's different types of opposition, isn't there? There's different types of game, and where you want to. What Adama is absolutely class at is getting the ball and carrying it up the field. Keeping possession, holding the ball up, but he can bring other people into play. He just gets physical in there. I think we got overrun, didn't we? We got overrun.
Yeah,
and I think also for me as well, there's almost like a premeditated feeling of what Palace are already like and what they're going to play like. And I think I haven't really seen much of them, to be honest.
I have, mate, and they're
followed them at all. And obviously, new managers come in, totally new style, a new era for them, isn't it? And they're playing some superb football.
And they're playing they're playing for Patrick Vieira, who's one of the best midfielders that has ever graced the Premier League. Yeah. So he's already got them playing. Obviously not to his standard, but the pressing game. Yeah. And I think you look at somebody like I know they've been made scapegoats sometimes, but you look at Trincao and Hwang, who against Everton were obviously with Hwang. You're going to get games like this. You're going to get. I think Jota was very similar. I think Jota came in and out of games, but he has got that, that killer instinct when he does get. I didn't think Jimenez didn't have a great game either. He was the front three were
not many people did have a great game, did they?
Well, that's it. I think Max Kilman had a good game, and I think
it's about the only one.
I can't think of any other player. I think the problem is that Hwang, Trincao especially, he's not physical enough for that game. I think he got knocked off the ball far too easily. I think we were trying to be a bit too cute, And nobody could say that this defeat wasn't coming. For 80 minutes against Villa, we were pretty tepid as an away team. I think Leeds, we should have held out Leeds. But you look at who I think Palace are ahead of both Leeds and Villa at this time.
Yeah,
We've played a team that I know they've drawn a lot of games, but I think they're a decent side, and I think they're going to be okay. I don't think they're going down this season. I think they're going to be mid-table, and I think hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be there with them.
Well, was it more of a case that we just, we had a bad game and that's allowed, or were we outclassed? Do you think,
mate? This is going to happen. This is going to happen.
Because obviously we've said this for, from day one, really, that this season, it's going to be a roller coaster. We're going to be up 1 minute, down the next, and
Yeah. Well, you look at the 11 games that we've played. We've won 5, we've drawn 1, and we've lost 5. And I think that is absolutely where we are as a football team.
Completely.
I think we're going to see. December looks tasty for the fixtures that we're going to get. So we all need to brace ourselves for a few tricky games. But I do think that if Traoré wasn't going to play this one, where does he fit in? Because I think he played him at wing back, like against Palace. He's not even playing him in the right position. If you're going to put him on, you put him on further forward, and that for me said a lot about how Bruno Lage is actually thinking about Adama Traoré at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we discussed it. We discussed it last week, didn't we? That I don't really think he fits in his plans at all.
No. Whether that's right or wrong, like
I think was it reported Valencia were coming in for him?
Yeah.
Today, I don't know if that was from Wolves sources or just hearsay or whatever. But it's already starting. We're into November.
Well, mate, if he hasn't signed a contract, we need to get rid of him because his value is depreciating every single time he's not on the pitch.
Well, thank God we're not paying him $100,000 a week like was touted a couple of weeks ago. I mean, what a massive, U-turn almost.
Well,
from those reports.
We don't want to make this, about Adama Traoré. No. We want to make it about the players that actually did play on the pitch. And for me, I see a worrying lack of goals from midfield. I find it staggering how few goals Neves and Moutinho have scored for us. Then Donk occasionally gets on the end of a cross, but I think we're really struggling there.
That is one thing that's missing, isn't it, really, at the moment?
Yes, a goal-scoring midfielder that's going to take a little bit of the pressure off the front three, and especially Jimenez, because I can't remember a time where we had one of those. Do you know what I mean? Like a proper, 10-goal midfielder, and they're still taking penalties. Like I really can't. I can't remember.
Well, that is one of Neves' big faults, isn't it? I mean, although he can pop up with a worldie every so often, it's far too, inconsistent. Yeah, really. But it would be if he could pop up with, like you say, gets that 10 goals a season marker. He'd be.
You've seen what Carl Cook's for. The last one was Steve Corica. That's one for the dads, mate. Absolutely.
One for the dads. Wasn't it Corsica?
No, Steve Corica. He was Australian.
Oh, Corica. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
My bad. I am showing me age there. You did say the dads, but I'm a young dad. So.
Well, that's true. Granddad's there.
Compared to you.
Mitchell Davis.
Dave Edwards, Dave
Edwards. No, there's a player. There's a player. Big Dave. But yeah, don't get me wrong. We're talking levels here. Like Steve Corica and Dave Edwards are not the level of Jean Moutinho or Ruben Neves. What we are talking about is
popping up with a goal
and popping up with a goal every so often to help out the forwards, because Hwang, he's worth 14 million of anybody's money in this day and age, and we should buy him. But I don't think he's going to set the world alight. He's going to have his games where he's going to he's going to be brilliant, and some games you're not going to even hear his name mentioned. And I think that's going to be the same with Trincao. All good one, Dutchy TV, prime Jeff Thomas. Absolutely, that is old school. I love that. Neil Emblem.
Oh, Neil Emblem, yeah. Used to love
For me, going off piece a little bit. Paul Cook for me played in a very poor Wolves team, and he could have played in the top division. I thought Paul Cook was an absolute general. He was
all right, Grandad. Let's get on with the show.
Hey, sorry, I was putting, I'm just putting it out there.
No, fair play, fair play.
But back to the 21st century. But you look at the performance there, and I find it quite odd that it's gone from one extreme to the other. But from like a week ago, I don't know.
Well,
anybody tell me what?
But like you say, I think
the same team.
Huang's still getting used to the league, and he I think against Everton, same with Trincao, Everton, they were allowed to pass, move, receive the ball, time on the ball, make the next pass, move. It was all easy, but when they get teams like a Palace, probably like a Burnley, and they come and close you down quickly, they press, they take away the space,
I know,
it's not going to be the same. And you know, they're probably a bit like Bruno, seems to be really like almost learning on the job. Where you're going to get these teams that, you know, you can only do, you'll have done your research on the teams or whatever, but you've got to be in it to realise, I think, and not every game. I think Everton was a particularly,
I think it was a
good one.
I think it was a gimme. Everton were shocking, but then they played Tottenham and probably should have beaten Tottenham. We all say, like, you know,
but it's just a bit of a mental league. I mean, we say our own rollercoaster season. Everybody's really up and down. The Premier League is so good at the moment for
it is true.
Everybody beating everybody. It's you know, literally when I'm trying to put a bet on a Saturday, I'm thinking, well, God knows it's potluck. There's no gimmies. There's no sort of.
Well, do you think the Brentford bubbles burst?
Well, it looks like it, doesn't it?
I've had a bet with my mate. Like, he said they're going to get 14th or higher, and I was like, I'll take that bet. So I'm taking 15th to 20th, and like he's like, I think they're going to be all right. That was before they lost to Norwich.
Oh, really?
So that's the thing. Look, let's put Mitchell Davis's one on. This is interesting, and actually, go on, Craig.
Okay, teams like that who will be physical, we need to play the Traoré and the Donks, not players who don't want to put a foot in.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue. Yeah. I think what gets in my grill a little bit is the fact that you've got all week to prepare for a team. You know how they play. You've seen how they play, I would imagine.
Yeah.
They had nearly 80% possession against Newcastle. And I know they're playing at home, but you kind of know this. So it's kind of like we were playing into their hands, really, by playing Trincao and probably Moutinho.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trincao, you take Trincao out for Traoré for this game, and you play Dendoncker with Neves. For me, you know, it's all well and good saying this now after, you know, the horse has bolted, but it's kind of like.
Yeah. But obviously, Bruno's got his team that he wants to play.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe there's a bit of he's thinking they've got to go and experience those different teams. They might not be particularly the best players suited to that right now, but it's go back to that sort of. It's got a very much feeling of like learning as we go.
I know.
I don't think we're in any trouble.
Not yet. We're not. I know. I say that.
I think,
not yet. We're not. I'm saying it because we're 11 games into the season, but that really it does scare me a little bit, the lack of midfield goals, and also when you see these teams like your Palaces and the Burnleys of this world. We got turned over by Burnley last season, and they were playing exactly the same, that pressing game. It's like, but maybe that's, I don't know if West Ham are going to come out to Molineux and think it's going to be a walk in the park. and give us a little bit more space. It wouldn't surprise me if we beat West Ham. That's
Well, it's probably the best time. It's the best time to play them, I would
after their
suggest.
international break.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah,
yeah. I think that take the momentum out of what they've got going on at the moment, which is like phenomenal.
Well, they're playing fantastic.
If we were playing them like this midweek or even Saturday,
we'd get absolutely destroyed.
I think they'd take us to the cleaners right now, but probably the best time to play. And like, I think we said it last week as well. Going back to that, it's very Wolves-like to go and beat West Ham and probably lose or draw to Norwich.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's like Lee Barnes put that one up because that epitomises everything that we just said, and it's correct.
Go on,
you read it.
Oh, go on. Anyone who presses high, Brentford, Leeds, Palace, we struggle against. When Benitez came out before the Everton game and said he was going to try and hit us on the break, I knew he'd go and win.
That's it. And that's why I do believe if teams come out and try and, well, let us have the ball, which Everton did, which I thought was like so strange. They allowed us to play our stuff, and physical teams don't allow us to do that. But it's hard because I don't want to like go full negative because you look at the league, we're 8th, and after 11 games, like
I think you got to look at it and say things are all right. Obviously, we're not perfect. We've got things we can work on, but he's clearly not in favour of players like Adama, and obviously when we're sort of hanging on almost for the win last week against Everton, it would have been perfect time to bring him on.
Well, to keep it in the
carry the ball forward.
Yeah,
he can skip past players at ease and carry it 80 yards up the pitch. And there's going to be there are games and teams where he'd be perfect for that kind of situation, and clearly he's not in it. So we need to. He's obviously got a plan that he's trying to work to, which actually.
I think something's going on behind the scenes, mate. He wants to play every single game, which, whether that's the right attitude or the wrong attitude. He didn't start every game for Nuno. He's not starting every game for Bruno Lage. There's something going on the training pitch that the manager is thinking, I don't want to start you. Like, not everybody can be wrong. Like, he's the type of player that on his day can change a game. There's no question of that. He has got like that X factor. Excuse the pun, but he kind of he drifts out of games. I just think that if he's not going to sign the contract because he's not starting every game and he wants game time elsewhere, and he's got 18 months left on his contract, I think there's going to come a point where we do need to just get the money for him. We've got Neto coming back in January. Podence, Trincao. I know Trincao's on loan. We may not even buy him. But I agree with Mitchell Davis, what he said there about Traoré.
Let's get that one up.
Traoré makes us too one-dimensional, and I think Bruno doesn't like that. I agree. I think what we said. It is horses for courses, though, and I think against Palace, that was the game. But it wasn't. I don't know whether they're bringing on Traoré at the beginning of the game, or I don't think that would have made a blind bit of difference to that game. I thought the entire team, it looked like they were. It was a lazy performance. There was no spark to it. It was a terrible standard of football. The actual some of the first touches like from professional footballers were very, very poor.
But I think you actually said this. Apologies if I got this wrong, but I think you actually said you tweeted about the fitness levels looked off.
Yeah.
And I know like at the end of the game against Everton, obviously we'd worked hard all over the pitch and it was to be expected, but there's a couple of players, I remember like Aitner running back, 10 minutes to go against Everton, and he looked absolutely on his arse, blowing struggling to run almost. And then there's a couple of others that I thought, maybe that could be something.
Well, I don't
to play at that intensity on Monday and then to have to do it again on Saturday.
Which
perhaps it shouldn't be that way because it's the Premier League.
I think we're giving a small squad the benefit of the doubt there, and yeah, that's fine. I can give them a little bit of leeway, but Palace, to play their intensity, the way they play, they're going to be knackered as well.
Yeah.
So we can't really, hang our hats on that really.
No, it's just a point that.
No, I completely agree.
Spotted.
Fitness levels, like maybe that's I know somebody on there said that they want Bolly in. I just do not think Large rates Willy Bolly.
For some reason, he doesn't want him in, does he? The same. He's obviously got his. He's got those couple that he doesn't really want in, and it doesn't seem to be changing, which actually is probably commendable. Or he knows what he wants, and he's gonna do it. It's a shame because I like Bolly. I rate him. I think he's a good player. He's been a fantastic servant for us. And
that season, he was head and shoulders the best defender we had.
Yeah. What do you think about him? Not probably being involved, or
I think he's been ill. I think he had COVID, didn't he? And I think fitness levels are just not up to scratch. You saw him against Burnley. He came back too early after having COVID.
Yeah,
could not move. Couldn't move. I think that's really knocked him for 6.
Maybe Padence's still got COVID.
Mate, I don't know. Who knows, mate? There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I think Padence won't be a Wolves player for long, if I'm being honest. No, I don't. I think he wants game time.
He can't be enjoying himself, can he?
He can't be, mate. Put Stu Kelsel's one up.
Evening, Stu. Thanks for joining us.
Nice one.
Right, it's a reality check for us. We're short of quality and depth. So
it is a reality check. It's completely irrelevant, And this is what happens with Wolves fans. Every single win, we're going to get into Europe. Every single defeat, sack Bruno Lage, the PE teacher apparently.
Who said that?
We're going to be some moron on Twitter. We're going to be fighting relegation. It's like, but it's like, but that's the thing. That's the thing about being a Wolves fan. It's never dull. And
that's what this season's going to be all about.
And I think this is going to be one of them seasons. I can see it now. It's going to be. We're going to go on a run of about 4 games undefeated. We're going to lose the next 3. We're going to,
yeah.
It's going to be crazy. But I think we'll get to 40 points at about the February, March stage, and then we can go. There we go. Crack on.
Yes. Yeah.
See what happens, and hopefully we'll be in the FA Cup then, so we can concentrate on that. You know what I mean?
Do you think
doom and gloom?
It's absolutely not. Have you seen the table? It's absolutely fine. But do you think the FA Cup, or if not the FA Cup, which one? But do you think that's one for us to focus on this year and have a real crack at it? I know we've had this discussion before, but
absolutely, I think it's important that we do. Because I think league-wise, So
you're not one of these that's like, I'll get out the cup and secure our points. You want to have you'd suffer a couple of places, yeah?
Mate, that's what... I don't know what happened with Nuno and the whole thing in the cup with Southampton.
I'd rather forget about it.
Yeah, I know. But when you look at that... depending on points, because we weren't really safe then.
No. It was a bit more.
Premier League was priority, but I just think we'll get enough points early enough if we can get through like 3rd or 4th round to just go. You know what? Sod it. Put all your eggs in the FA Cup basket and just see what happens. Because that for us as a team like Wolves. That's a great season for me. Like, if we have a great run in the FA Cup and we're top 10, Who could say that's a bad season for Bruno Lage? Like,
No, that's
I don't
great.
think anybody can they?
Yeah.
You know, you just look at, you know, let's talk about the biggest club in the Midlands, apparently, who had the best manager, like ever 2 months
Oh
ago.
God.
About the Vile.
Well, it's funny you're having a bit of stick, weren't you, off some Vile fan of the weekend?
Loads.
Oh dear.
Like, mate,
They are the most delusional bunch of
never known anything like it in my life. Like I hashtag,
entitled.
I hashtagged 1982 because I was
Yeah, that was it.
and I argued with him saying, like, when you won the European Cup, it was easier to win that than the League Cup is now. It's like,
True.
you know, you're playing teams like Straven Lavensburg and like it's just they've just got illusions of grandeur of just. But you know, this is a Wolves one. But
yeah, okay, but just onto it quickly though.
Yeah,
sacking the manager is such a terrible decision, isn't it? I mean, it's hilarious, but it's such a wrong decision.
It's staggeringly naive from them.
I mean, he was doing a fantastic job.
But he was as a Wolves fan,
massively punching above their weight, really. But and you know,
the money they've spent now, mate. The money they've spent, like, I think
he's lost Grealish, and then he's gone on a bit of a bad run of form, and he's sacked. I mean, what?
Danny Ings, I thought, was an absolute genius signing when he came in.
It was mad.
You know, and obviously he scored against us. He always scores against us. But I think that game, as Dutchy TV rightly says, our victory at the Villa broke them. And
I think it did.
I think it did, because that was like the third of their 5 defeats, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then you listen to good old Gabby and Bonglahore on Sport, who's like banging on about us going down and the Villa going to be in Europe. It's like he's gone quite quiet, actually. You know, since then. You know, but I can see Steven Gerrard taking that job.
Can you?
Yeah, I really can. I think
it's probably a good fit for him, really.
All joking aside, they had this on. Tell me, and Craig, is this a sideways, backwards, or forward step for Steven Gerrard in his career from Rangers to Aston Villa?
Good question.
I don't think it is. It's not a good question. It's an easy question.
It's a good question.
Of course, Aston Villa is a better forward. Of course it is. He's playing in a farm league. Rangers.
Yeah, but
what? Like, I'm not like
where are Villa going? What?
Well, they can only go up.
They're just can they? They can certainly go the other way.
Well, they can't get much worse.
Well, I don't know. I think that would be a good fit for Gerrard, actually, just to prove is he all that?
Forward move. It's a come on, mate.
It's a sideways step. It's a slightly forward half step.
I hate Aston Villa with every fibre of my being, but I've got surely Aston Villa.
Yeah, here we go. Dutchy TV. They're one bad managerial appointment from relegation. That's it. I see it go. Yeah, absolutely see it going that way.
Absolutely.
To get this wrong, it's such a mad decision.
Taking him down. I don't think Steven Gerrard is taking him down, is he? It'd be a massive risk. They're on about getting the Denmark manager, aren't they?
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. I have literally no idea.
That would be brilliant.
But I'm thinking you are correct. I think.
For now.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Stu Kelsall, any money on Nuno going there?
I don't think so.
I don't think he would go.
I think the Villa fans would love that, but he's not. I think he's. Yeah, I do.
Until they started playing.
Yeah, I think they would.
Yeah. But it's an interesting league. It is.
I think Nuno's finished in for a while in England. I think
Adam Partridge. Let's have a look. Potter to Villa. What do you think, lads? Why would you leave? Why would you leave Brighton? Why would you leave Brighton? Are doing really well.
Yeah.
I know, like
they're a much better team than Villa.
Much better team, and their run so much better than Villa.
A hell of a lot more potential there than at Villa. I think that's I think they could well be in trouble personally.
I'll tell you a team that we might be higher up in the league, other than Villa at the end of the season. Man United,
Yeah.
they are
Well,
very bad.
that's that for me. That there has been for a while, but there are massive problems behind the scenes there.
Oh, mate.
To let Conte go to Tottenham,
yes, agreed,
and keep Ollie in the job when they could have had him, and now what they're going to do?
It's like they're so scared to look like they're making a mistake, you know. But then you look at the different fan bases. We're all the same. We're all the same. We're all like, we're so crap when we lose. We're so brilliant when we win. But United, good God, that fan base. Oh, do you see it? It's like they're doing like a walkout of the stadium, and they're like saying Glazers out and all this stuff. About 3 months ago, when they signed Ronaldo, they were buying about 400,000 shirts with his name on the back. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of, that's fan bases for you.
But can you blame them? Like, if Ronaldo came, you're going to be.
Oh my God, we give him the keys.
You're going to be buzzing, but they are so poor. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know, mate. But hey, let's stop talking about other teams. Let's talk about us.
They are our opposition. Don't forget. So.
They are indeed, and
worth noting.
Yeah. But it annoys me that we didn't beat them or Tottenham in our first 3 games, because then you look at the absolute, well, for want of a better word, shit show that's gone on. It's a bit annoying. Here we go. Spencer, lad.
Hi, Spencer.
Yeah. Villa fans love their legends. How about the massive Dean Saunders? Well, you wouldn't need to change the tracksuit top, would you?
That's true. Save some money.
That is. Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah. Get Dion Dublin over there. Could sell you an house while he's over there.
Get Gabby in.
Yeah. Oh God, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. Oh. But let's have a look at some of the games coming up after the international break. So I want to talk to you about this actually, because I put on Twitter, loads of fans were going, "Oh, Kilman! Oh, why isn't he not in the England squad? It's going to be today.
I saw this,
like that." And I was like, "Why are you so interested?
Who's bothered?
Like, we're playing San Marino and some other like." I don't know, semi-professional darts team.
If it was like the World Cup squad and he'd been playing so well and he'd got 2 seasons of being class under his belt and whatever, then
his time will come.
I'd have a look out for it, but I'm so not interested in this break.
I understand this rage. It's like, why isn't like
what's Southgate going to do? He's not going to start.
He's going to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather him be at home, recuperating, getting
absolutely,
just like relaxed and chilled and not, being all stressed, being with England and stuff? It'll come, but it could be to the detriment. What if he goes over in training, like for England, like for these nothing internationals that we're definitely going to win 8-0, like for the experience, for the gravitas of like Wolves having Cody and Kilman in the squad, so what?
It means nothing to me.
It means absolutely nothing. And it's like, if it was a World Cup, as you said, or the Euros, then I completely get it, because we're switched on into that international mindset. This is a nonsense. We're already there. It's like the 3rd international break during the season.
It's pathetic, isn't it?
I just like, oh God, it does my Sweden, but. Oh, here we go.
No, I don't think we're playing Sweden. I don't think we're playing Sweden, mate. No.
Let's get the. Go on. He reckons that we're going to
Which one we want, mate?
The bottom. Well.
Final revival.
Good, to be honest. We're going to get tanked by West Ham. They're on fire. Norwich is tricky to get a manager and have a bounce effect.
That's true.
We're not ending on that one.
But no, we're not going to get tanked by West Ham, I don't think. I agree with you. I think that's a perfect time to play them. Straight after the break, all the momentum's gone. All this sort of bubble has burst.
They're a good.
I still think they'll do well. They've got don't get me wrong,
team,
they'll be there or thereabouts come the end. But if ever there was a chance to play them and say again,
do you think they'll get in the Champions League?
don't see why not. Don't see why not. It's
I
going to be right interesting all the way to the wire this year. It's really, it's going to be good. I think so.
Yeah, Stu Kelsel's made a very good point, actually. Go on, Craig.
West Ham are a big physical side. We've not dealt with big physical strikers all season. I know. We always seem to struggle, don't we?
That does frighten me a little bit, especially with
Tony and players like that.
Yeah, we've got previous in that respect, haven't we? But
yeah, we've got to get better at that, actually.
Well, that's it. And if we're going to do that, sod it, play 4 at the back, and just play with the extra man in midfield. Well, do you know what I mean? Like, if we know that that's coming, then try and override them in the midfield. Cody against Antonio. It's going to be. It could get messy. But saying that already, it's like, I think Cody's actually. He's done all right this season. It's like he probably could have done better for one of the Crystal Palace goals, but I think it's all about the midfield against West Ham because they've got.
But this is obviously
very good players.
Yeah, we've got to use what we've got, play to our strengths. But this is where it's so big in January, isn't it? Like we said, to make the right additions and get that sort of, how much longer can we keep relying on Moutinho? Yes, Neves is playing a lot better, but like you said, we need some goals from somewhere, a bit more creativity.
Yeah.
Desperate for Neto to come back.
You see Sanchez performance for in the French league?
No.
Oh my God. Neto Sanchez. Oh my God, he was so good.
Good times.
He was taking on about like 5 players.
You didn't do a little wee again, did you?
Mate, we're not. I'm full bladder out. We ain't getting him.
We're not. But last week we were getting Van der Beek, Sanchez.
Well, if he keeps playing like this, Liverpool are coming with him. I just think I'm just having a look at some of the comments here. Actually, dominated by Benteke. We're talking about Cody. Dominated by Benteke last game. Imagine Benteke with pace. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on that one. Cody. Yeah, he was dominated by Benteke last game. Imagine Benteke with pace. Cody won't stand a chance. Maybe moving Kilman in the middle might help with that.
Oh, it's a bit of a.
I can't see that's enough.
I just can't see it happening. I agree. Cameron.
Cameron. The international break has hopefully come at the right time. Gives us time to reset and hopefully kills West Ham's momentum. Yeah, that's what
I think it's probably it's the perfect time to play them. If there was ever a perfect time, really. They've been on this fantastic run and they play some great football. I think Dendonka playing in there. I think we need midfield stability for that. We've got 3 midfielders, haven't we? We've got Moutinho and Dendonka, so that needs to even more so than the defence for me. The midfield, for me, goals from midfield.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Yeah, definitely.
Adam Partridge thinks we should put Bolly back in. I think we obviously don't see the training, and Lage as he's made his feelings very clear. He loves Saiss. I think if any of the back 3 are going to come out for Bolly, it's going to be Saiss. I think Bolly is a better footballer than Saiss, but I think Lage likes the.
He has been playing well there. To be fair to him, he's definitely stepped up a gear. Definitely. I know everyone thinks he's a liability and he's always got that red card in him or booking or whatever, but I think he has been playing. He's been very reliable this season. And
I think Cody and Saiss have got a mistake in him, haven't they? And even Kilman, to a degree, nobody's perfect, but
Yeah.
I think it's the midfield. It's massively a midfield battle there.
So would
And
you have
I'd stick three
Traoré?
midfield. I'd stick three midfield. I'd take a centre half out.
Okay,
I would.
interesting.
I'd play probably a 4-3-3
Yeah, I think
or a
we're gonna have to
4-5-1. It'll be a 4-5.
we're gonna have to change it up, aren't we, to compete? And it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be
I've got
interesting. I think.
three. I'd play Cody and Kilman at the back. I'll play Semedo, Aitneri. I'll play Moutinho, Neves, and Dendoncker. Maybe Dendoncker fills in the centre back role when we need him to, but it's a three. It's like a solid three. And then I probably would play Traoré actually, if I'm honest, instead of Trincao. I'd give Hwang a go, and obviously Jimenez. Oh God, what centre midfielder would you like at Wolves? From Adam Partridge. Well, in an ideal world, I'd love Van der Beek there, or Sanchez.
Yeah.
Either of those two, I think, could be an incredible signing for us.
What sort of chances do you think we got of signing one of those? Like, really, is that?
I think Newcastle will probably come in for Van der Beek, because I think that's a really good signing for them. And it depends on, I think we've got more chance of signing Sanchez than Van der Beek, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but if he's absolutely ripping it up, like you say, he's going to have eyes on from everywhere, isn't he? And if he stays fit, he's like, what's our chances of pulling power, basically?
Well, I think with Traoré, so I know we lost to West Ham last season at Molineux, but that goal that we scored just before half time, they went 3-0 up pretty quickly, and Traoré took on their entire team and crossed it in for Dendoncker to score that goal. That's what he can do. And if Traoré plays, then there's always that bit in the back of their minds, like saying, "Look what he did to us last game." I'd play him just for that. Or if you are going to bring him on after 60 minutes. Like, hopefully the game wouldn't have gone by then.
That's a good one. Shrewsbury Wolf. If Ollie gets sacked, the Beak will stay.
Yeah, because he's just not getting any game time. But United will not sack him.
Don't you think?
I just don't think they will, mate. I just think the arrogance and just the way they think that they're playing like this long game with Ollie.
I think he's cheap, and I think there's massive problems way past the manager.
Oh God, yeah, it's rotten to the core.
What they're going to do?
I think there's a lot going on in that football club that is not good.
Get Nuno in.
Oh, interesting. Oh, this is a good one. Shrewsbury Wolf. Yes. Polina. Yes. He's quality. I'd take him. Any of those three. I'm not picky. Just do you know what I mean?
I think it's just having somebody that's takes the pressure off Moutinho having to play every week, because he
and Neves.
Yeah.
We can't keep on. And who's got the best scoring record out of those three players? Can you give us some information? Because that's what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for a midfielder that can actually put the ball in the back of the net, because we're just not doing it. We're putting so much pressure on Jimenez, and to a lesser extent Hwang, and whoever plays on the other side. I think it's really hard, man. It's hard to see where the goals are coming from if Jimenez isn't having a great game, or Hwang isn't popping up here or there. We're not a free scoring team. We never have been, even under Nuno. We weren't. I wouldn't say we'd be one of the top 10 scorers of goals. What helped us is that we didn't concede many. But I think,
Well, under the Nuno era, you got Doherty popping up with quite a few goals, haven't you?
yeah, and that's what we miss, mate. Yeah, I agree. Semedo hasn't filled in that gap. He hasn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
He just hasn't.
Jota would come on and get goals, whereas Hwang will get there.
Yeah, but he isn't there yet.
But he's not there quite yet. There was goals popping up here, there, and everywhere, and but Neves was scoring probably a little bit more regularly.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we could solve that, we are a completely different situation. Yeah,
we are, mate. And I think if we can get like not asking for much, guys. A box-to-box midfielder who can occasionally score a few, like a 10-goal in the Premier League midfielder. We've ticked the box. Like we've done that. But the problem is that those players don't grow on trees, and also we are now in this group of teams that are looking at the same.
All after the same market. Yeah,
they are, mate. Yeah, and that's the issue, and probably. Now that we're up against teams like Newcastle, who have got money to just burn.
Yeah, well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it, in January? When, literally whatever name that gets banded around, they're going to be in the mix, aren't they?
But the thing is, Newcastle is that if they get to January and they're on like 10 points or something daft, and they still haven't won a game, which could happen because they're terrible and they've got Eddie Howe now.
What do you make of that appointment, by the way?
I think it's funny.
Funny because it's terrible, or
it's funny, because I think Newcastle United, with all their billions and billions of pounds, are going to get relegated.
Yeah.
100%.
So you don't rate Howe then?
No, I don't, because the pressure is going to be too much.
Yeah.
The pressure is going to be too much. He's going to try and play an attacking game with the players that he's got. They're not good enough, and they're going to.
Well, could the damage? Are you saying the damage is already going to be done to far too much extent by January?
Absolutely. Their run of games is awful, and they need to win. They need to win. They need to win a game. Like, I think Norwich have got a better chance of staying up than Newcastle.
Yeah. You could well be right. You could well be right.
I think Newcastle they've got real problems now. I think who's going to want that job? They know they're only in it for if they keep them up. Like Eddie Howe, for instance, like he's took the job on. Does he really expect to be the number one choice next season if they stay up?
Yeah.
Blank canvas. He's gone.
They're just going to get rid, aren't they? Yeah.
They're going to get rid. They've given him a 2.5-year contract to give him some stability. And what's going to happen is, if he takes them down, he's going to be sacked. If he keeps them up, he's going to be sacked. They're not keeping Eddie Howe for the long haul here. It's like, it's just
he's got to know that, sure. He's got to know what he's signing up for, But I'm sure he'll be handsomely rewarded.
Well, that's it, and fair play to him.
Good comment here, Shrewsbury Wolf. Like this, just caught my eye. Goal scoring, box to box. Apparently, there is this guy playing for Sheffield United who's doing well, who's on loan from somewhere. Yes, I'm liking that chain of thought there.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Mr. Gibbs White.
He's doing well in the Championship. He really is.
Well, you always said he's a Championship player and all this, but surely that's doing him the world of good. Getting out, playing, scoring.
I think it's a brilliant thing for him, actually. Like, all joking aside, I think he actually can be like a first choice midfielder for us. But the problem is that he was not getting the game time that he needed. I think this is perfect for him. And I actually think that Fabio Silva should do the same as well.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think they will with him because of the price tag, but I think I think Morgan Gibbs-White could be.
I think it stands more of a chance he's coming back with the way we don't like to spend money.
Well, yeah. Will we take him back in January? Is that the deal? Or
I think that's the plan. Yeah, that was the plan when he went. Yeah,
I think we're going to have to, man. I think, and fair play to him. He's really, really took it by the scruff of the neck and just gone with it. And you can't blame him for. Well, not blame him. You can't blame him for taking the first team opportunities, because he must think to himself, like, what have I got to do? But now he's playing well in the Championship, and we all know the difference in levels here. I know Brentford had a good start, and I know Norwich.
Yeah.
You just got to look at the standard of teams in the Premier League now. It's so far different than the Premier League. That's why I think, like, when I think somebody last week said about Sanderson coming back from Birmingham, which is all well and good, in January, but the difference in levels is night and day, really, isn't it? So
it's getting bigger, isn't it? That gap is
is
definitely getting bigger. It's getting wider all the time.
Yeah. We've had quite a
lucky Villa.
Eddie Howe going to Newcastle. It's a shame because, like, I know a few of the Newcastle lads, and like, they were really.
Yeah, well, have they said much about that? Are they happy?
They said, like, Eddie Howe's here now. We're gonna, it wasn't the first choice, obviously, but he's there, and I think I just can't see it going well. He had a nightmare at Burnley, couldn't hack it at Burnley, went to Bournemouth with little to no, expectation. It's a different world. Like, Newcastle, it's
a lot of pressure from those fan base as well.
From game one, and if you don't start off well, and you don't start winning games, which they need to, because they haven't won this season. We've won 5 games this season out of 11. That's decent, I think. I think that's a decent return.
Absolutely.
Newcastle haven't won one. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like
they're in big trouble, mate.
They're in massive trouble. So let's have a look at some interesting one. Ben Clay. That's a good one. Can't see Fabio getting a kick when Neto is back. He ain't getting a kick now.
He's not getting a kick now, is he?
When Neto comes back, you're completely right. Like, he just ain't, Yeah. Vinyl Revival should have got Anton Deck in. Disappointing. I think they were third on the list. It was Eddie Howe, and then them.
Cameron. Eddie Howe plays attacking football. He needs a squad of better defenders, and Newcastle's back line are awful.
It's going to be like 6-2, 6-1. They're going to be very entertaining.
It's a strange one that he's taken that, really. I know somebody's got to, but I don't know. It's almost like that. He's in an impossible situation.
I think it's out of the teams that you could go to, out of the 3 teams, Villa, Newcastle, or Norwich, because obviously the other ones have been filled, and Newcastle's been filled. But I'm just saying, hypothetical. You look at, there is a reason why Frank Lampard is talking to Norwich and not Newcastle. There is a reason Steven Gerrard wasn't even in the frame for the Newcastle job, but he is for the Villa job. The reasons is that they don't want to go to Newcastle because the people that are involved with Newcastle know absolutely nothing about football.
Yeah,
it's simple. It's about.
Good point.
And I think Newcastle are really, really. I'll put a bet on it now. Like, I'll get terrible odds, but I'm so sure that Newcastle are going to go down this season. Now that Eddie Howe is in charge.
Yeah, you will get terrible odds on that.
But it's like he's an attacking manager, but he's got a horrible, horrible defense. They're terrible.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But let's look at the next two games. We've got West Ham and we've got Norwich, haven't we, mate? How many
Yeah,
points do you getting from them? Because we said, didn't we? We said, I said I'd take 4 points from the 3 games.
Yeah, I can see 4 points there.
Can you?
Yeah. I don't.
3. I'm not telling you which one I think we're going to lose.
Yeah, no, I do think it's the best time to be playing West Ham. I know we've talked about, does the international break take the momentum away? But I think anything at this moment in time is anything to stop that at the moment is good. Give us a bit of time to regroup, especially coming off a loss. Try and work out what went wrong, what we can do differently. And Norwich, I don't really think it matters if they get a manager in or not.
They've won the first
we've got
game.
to be better. We're better than Norwich. We can.
Well, we should be.
Yeah.
I think.
And then I think we've got after that. Is it Burnley?
Yeah. We've got games where we should be picking up points, but we said this earlier. It's like teams that press we don't like, and Burnley, I bloody hate. I hate playing Burnley. You just know what you're going to get. They're very much like Palace, I think.
Yeah.
Very, very much like Palace. Like, they're never good games to watch.
Make sure your black t-shirts wash for that game, mate.
I know, mate. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Like, I think where we are now is where we should be, and
absolutely.
Eighth is fine. 8th is absolutely fine for a November international break to be 8th. Play 11 games. That's all right. Let's end on a positive.
Let's enjoy the roller coaster.
Yeah, man, and it certainly is. It's one hell of a ride. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see who he does play and how he does go up against West Ham next time. Right. We're not back next Monday, are we? Because
no.
Terrible England international, terrible. But we'll be back every week. Yeah, Stu, you're right, mate. We are transitioning, and Bruno has to be given time, and he needs to be able to buy the players that he wants to buy.
Yes, absolutely.
You've got to
give him.
I think he's doing
some of his own personality. Yeah, he is.
He is. Like, it's his first season in the Premier League. He's won nearly half his games that he's been in charge. That, for me...
Look, we're 8th in the Premier League.
Yeah. I don't think
Let's think about it.
We are not... The white flag's not out yet. We're all right. And on that note...
We're all good.
I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully, off the back of a tremendous... Hopefully, I'm not wearing this. I'm wearing my wall top.
Absolutely.
And we'll see what happens. But you got anything else to add, my mate?
I think that's it, mate. We're all good.
Okay.
Just enjoy the break as best you can. I won't be watching the England games. I think boring.
If you haven't already, do the thing, the subscribing bit thing. Yeah, that'll be good.
Make sure you subscribe. There it is.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, see you soon, gang. Always lovely to speak to you. All the interaction, we much appreciate it. And
thanks for watching.
We'll see you very soon. We've been Wandering Wolf.
Take care.